Good evening. We are ready to begin our program, and we ask that you give your attention to the opening processional of the members of the 2024 Richland One Hall of Fame induction class. We ask that you remain seated during the processional, but please feel free to show the honorees your love with your applause as they enter. Mr. Robert T. Bockman. Mr. Bockman is escorted by his wife, Mrs. Elizabeth Kevin Bockman. Dr. Percy A. Mack, Jr. Dr. Mack is escorted by his wife, Mrs. Carolyn Mack. Miss Bernice G. Scott. Miss Scott is escorted by her son, Mr. Kent Scott. And representing the family of Senator John L. Scott, Jr. is his wife, Mrs. Joan Scott. Mrs. Scott is escorted by Reverend Dr. Ernest C. Etheridge. Mrs. Martha Scott Smith. Mrs. Smith is escorted by her husband, Mr. Murray Smith. Let's give all of our induction class members a big round of applause. And now, if you will, please join me in welcoming our Mistress of Ceremonies for the evening, co-anchor of WIS Sunrise on WIS TV, Ms. Intisar Faulkner.
Good evening, everyone. It is such a great pleasure to be here this evening with all of you to celebrate the great Hall of Fame class of 2024. We will be starting here shortly, but I do want to just say thank you again for inviting me this year, and we are looking forward to having all of our inductees be congratulated and honored this evening. Let's give it up for our band this evening. Now we're going to proceed with our dinner, but we would like to hear from our band first before we proceed for dinner this evening and before we get to the award ceremony. So if you can give our band a round of applause. Fellas, take it away. All right, now we're ready to get this evening started. Just like live TV, when we don't have a script, we just gotta keep going, right? Okay. Give it up one more time for our band. Let's give them a round of applause. I do want to take a moment to recognize our band tonight. Saxophonist Dante Lewis Band. Dante is a proud graduate of Eau Claire High School, and his band members are guitarist James Meredith, an AC Flora High School graduate, drummer Tavares Weston, a W.J. Keenan High School graduate, keyboardist Elijah Williams, and Jamar Holiday on bass. Let's give them a round of applause. To open tonight's program, we have a group of talented students here to perform for you. They are Brianna Johnson Dantzler, Saria Shaw, Zamari Trapp, Lateria Scott, and Chaden Young Haynes, all juniors at Columbia High School. They're under the direction of Miss Jennifer Washington, Director of Choral Activities at Columbia High School. And in February, these young ladies had the opportunity to perform for legendary gospel artist Donnie McClurkin at the master class that was held in partnership between Richland One and the Auntie Karen Foundation. Singing Blessed and Highly Favored by the legendary Clark Sisters, please welcome the Columbia High School Female Ensemble.
He brought me through hard trials. He brought me through tribulations. Never let a day go by, and I realized, had not been for the Lord who was on my side, back was against the wall, He looked out for me. He heard my cry and rescued me. Never let a day go by, and I realize we are blessed. Don't take it for granted that we are here today. Just know that we are blessed and highly favored. Just know that we are blessed and highly favored. Come on, say that one more time. He brought me through hard trials. He brought me through tribulations. Never let a day go by, and I realized, had not been for the Lord who was on my side, back was against the wall, He looked out for me. He heard my cry and rescued me. Never let a day go by, and I realized we are blessed. Don't take it for granted that we are here today. Just know that we are blessed and highly favored. Just know that we are blessed and highly favored. As I look back through the years, don't you know that it's amazing how He's kept me. What the devil meant for evil, God turn it around just for my good. I know that I am blessed and highly favored. Just know that we are blessed and highly favored. I just want you to think about it for a moment. It could have been me.
feet. Give a round of applause for the Columbia High School Female Ensemble. Thank you, ladies, so much. In your programs, you will find the names and pictures of all the men and women who have been inducted into the Richland One Hall of Fame since it was established 20 years ago. We are honored to have several Hall of Fame members in the audience, and I would ask them to stand as I call your name to be recognized. Dr. Gary Bell. Miss Regina Hampton Brown. Miss Kay Span Bird. Mr. Bob Cobble. Mrs. Yvonne Donald. Mrs. Dorinth Green. Dr. Jean Sanders Hopkins. Dr. Solomon Jackson Jr. Mr. I.S. Levy Johnson. Mrs. Ella McCrant. Dr. Carlos Smith. Colonel Walter L. Watson Jr. Please give all of our Hall of Fame inductees a round of applause. We also want to give a special recognition to Superintendent and Hall of Fame member, Dr. Ronald L. Epps. Dr. Epps, if you would please stand. Thank you all again for being here this evening. At this time, please help me welcome Richland One Superintendent Dr. Craig Witherspoon, who will come up to bring greetings and do some additional recognitions.
Good evening. Good evening. Let's try that again. Good evening.
Good evening.
There we go. There we go. It is certainly my privilege and pleasure to bring you greetings this evening on the 20th anniversary of the Richland One Hall of Fame event. I think that deserves a round of applause in and of itself. 20 years of recognizing excellence and contributions that have come from and through and with this school district, that is Richland County School District 1. And we've seen just a little taste of that as we've gotten started. Certainly members of the band from Richland 1. Certainly those a part of this program, the honorees. And that is a great and wonderful thing. Because we talk about in Richland One, when we talk about our mission and vision, it is about making sure that our students, through our adults and through the people that we touch, that they can realize their dreams and potential. And we know some of the honorees and the honorees that we have come and the honorees that we are recognizing this evening have done some fantastic things, not only here in this footprint, but across this state, across the Southeast, across this nation, and across the world. Did you know we have ambassadors that are Hall of Fame members? Doctors, lawyers, teachers, educators, all facets of life have come through. So we want to thank you for being here and being part of this 20th year anniversary. Intisar, we want to thank you and WIS for being the media sponsor for the Hall of Fame for all of these 20 years. We thank you. We want to thank all of our sponsors, and I won't call all their names. They're in the program. They'll be flashing on the screen. But I do want to recognize our platinum sponsor for tonight, and that is Snyder Electric. Justin, would you please stand? Justin should. Want to recognize the members of the Richland One Board of Commissioners, our chairman, Dr. Aaron Bishop, Vice Chair, Ms. Angela Clyburn, a parliamentarian, Mr. Jamie Devine, and our immediate past chair, Ms. Cheryl Harris. And also on the board, we have our secretary, Mr. Robert Lomanak. We have Ms. Tamika Myers, as well as Ms. Barbara Weston, the members of the Richland County Board of Commissioners. I also want to recognize members of my cabinet that lead, and we work together as a team to support all of the staff, all of the students in Richland One. Cabinet members, if you would please stand. Don't be shy. And I want to thank them. We have a number of elected and appointed officials that are in attendance this evening as well. We have Senator Tamika Isaac Devine. We want to recognize you. Representative Jermaine Johnson is here. We have County Council member Overture Walker is here. He was already recognized as a Hall of Fame member, but a former State House of Representative, Mr. I.S. Levy Johnson. We have with us the President and CEO of Benedict College, Dr. Rosalind Artis. And we have a number of organizations, community organizations and support that are here. And did I miss any? The lights are bright, so forgive me. Did I miss any other elected or appointed officials that are with us this evening? Kendra Dove, the county treasurer. Any others? Again, forgive me. The lights are bright and my eyes are not so much. Well, again, I want to bring greetings to you, each and every one of you, certainly for being here and being part of this celebration. Talk about, again, contributions, large and small, deep and wide. That is why we're here, and that is why we're Richland One. So sit back, enjoy, talk, collaborate, and let's have a good time this evening. Thank you all so very much. All right. I want to take your stuff.
Thank you so much, Dr. Witherspoon. Along with honoring the newest members of the Hall of Fame, it has become a tradition at the Hall of Fame Induction Gala each year to recognize and introduce some of the Richland One students who are continuing the district's legacy of excellence. These students are called Legends in the Making. Mr. Kayvon Barger, Richland One's 2023-24 Teacher of the Year, and Ms. Cheslyn Jackson, the district's 2023-2024 Classified Employee of the Year, will introduce this year's Legends in the Making. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. We are honored to join in celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Richland One Hall of Fame as 5 more Richland One legends are inducted tonight. As we celebrate and reflect on the district's legacy of excellence, we also want to spotlight some of the many outstanding students who are currently attending Richland One schools. These young men and women were selected by their schools for recognition as legends in the making. They excel in academics, the arts, and athletics, and they give back to their communities through volunteer service. One day, these A students may be honored as members of the Richland One Hall of Fame themselves. We ask that you join us in recognizing the legend of the making, and as we step forward, tell you a little bit about them.
Okay, Diana Jones. Diana Jones is a freshman at Columbia High School. She's on the principal's list in the A honor roll, and she has been recognized as Student of the Month. Diana participates in several activities, including dance, track and field, and cheerleading. She also serves as a member of the Superintendent's Student Advisory Council. After graduating from high school, Diana plans to go to college and major in pre-med and minor in psychology. Her career goal is to be a pediatrician.
Tyra Helper is a senior at Drury High School, where she is captain of Drury's robotics team and co-captain of the varsity swim team. Tyra is also a member of the National Honor Society, Key Club, and the Drury Student Athletic Advisory Committee, and she serves as the first robotics volunteer. Her honors and awards include being a National Quest Bridge Scholarship winner, a Quest Bridge College Prep Scholar, and a Trinity College Book Club Award recipient. She is also an AP Capstone Diploma recipient, an AP Scholar with Distinction, and a South Carolina Seal of Biliteracy recipient in Spanish. After graduating from high school, Tyra plans to attend Rice University to major in mechanical engineering. Her goal is to pursue a career in the engineering field. Let's give her a round of applause.
Mignon Middlebrooks. Mignon Middlebrooks is a junior at Eau Claire High School, where she is a member of the student council and junior class president. She is in the district's honors dance company, and she serves as a manager of Eau Claire's baseball team. Her honors and awards include the Avid Achievement Award, the Avid Student of the Month Award, and being on the A and AB honor rolls. Mignon also recently participated in the Mr. and Miss Shamrock pageant, and she was named Miss Junior. Mignon plans to attend college after graduating from high school. Her career goal is to become a dance choreographer.
Alexander Hammond is a sophomore at AC Flora High School. Alex serves as president of the sophomore class, and he is a member of the varsity lacrosse team. He excels academically and is taking very rigorous course load as he prepares to enter the International Baccalaureate program next year. In addition to his busy schedule at AC Flora, Alex is active in his church youth group and plays the electric guitar in a rock band. He also has his own business walking dogs and doing other chores for people who appreciate his great personality and work ethic.
Caleb Pearson. Caleb Pearson is a senior at C.A. Johnson High School, where he's a member of the Green Hornet Ambassador Leadership Club, the C.A. Johnson Athletic Leadership Council, and the Beta Club and HOSA Future Health Professionals. Caleb has earned numerous honors and awards in football, basketball, and track, and he established himself as one of the top student athletes in the Columbia area. He was selected to the All-Region football team 3 consecutive years. He was the Region Player of the Year in 2022, and he was selected to the All-State team in 2023. He was named the 2023 Richland County High School Football Player of the Year by the Richland County Recreation Commission. Caleb was also selected to the All-Region basketball team and the All-Region track team, each for 3 consecutive years. He says his biggest accomplishment is becoming an honor roll student. Caleb plans to play football in college, but he is still deciding which college he will attend.
Mackenzie Glover is a junior at W.J. Keenan High School, where she is a straight A student in the top 5% of her class and active in numerous activities, including the soccer and robotics team, while working and volunteering. She is enrolled in the engineering and agricultural magnet programs at W.J. Keenan, and she will be a double CTE completer when she graduates. Mackenzie is an inaugural member of the Million Girls Moonshot 2022 flight crew and a Million Girls Moonshot 23 and 24 flight crew mentor. And she is the Million Women, y'all, this is a tongue twister. She is the Million Women Mentors board member. After graduation, she plans to attend a 4-year college and pursue a degree in animal science or engineering. In the future, Mackenzie hopes to inspire younger generations to take an interest in the STEM fields, and she wants to create more opportunities for children to be exposed to STEM from a younger age, regardless of their backgrounds.
Jamil Patterson. Jamil Patterson is a senior at Lower Richland High School, where he is on the principal's honor roll. He is a career and technical education completer in sports medicine and a recipient of the STEM Community Service Award and the Bridge Builder Excellence Award. Jamil has also earned several athletic honors and awards, including being named to the All-State and All-Region football teams and the All-Region soccer team. He was selected as an I-20 Palmetto Classic All-Star, and he is also recognized as a Watch Fox Athlete of the Week. Jamil plans to continue his athletic pursuits in college and major in business management.
And last but certainly not least, we have Madison Porter. Madison is a senior at the Richland One Middle College, where she is the president of the Student Government Association and the president of the Future Business Leaders of America. She is also a member of Students in Action, Key Club, the National Honor Society, and the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. Her honors and awards include being on the Principal's Honor Roll and receiving the Charles Darwin Award for Excellence in Science and the Congress of Future Medical Leaders Award of Excellence. Madison also serves as a United for Baby volunteer, and she is a musician at the Shepherd United Methodist Church. After high school, she plans to attend Newberry College and major in biology while participating in a dual program for pre-chiropractic. Madison's career goal is to become a chiropractor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating all of the legends in the making. Several of the students' parents and other family members are in the audience, and I know they're extremely proud. Will you please stand and let us recognize you? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barger and Ms. Jackson, and again, congratulations to all of the legends in the making. If any of the students' parents and other families are in the audience again, we want to thank you for all that you do in creating these wonderful members of society and these future legends in our community. We're going to take a break in the program, and we're going to take a pause for our dinner, and we'll resume the program shortly. Please enjoy.
Let us bow our heads, please. Our Father and our God, as we come now before your presence, Lord, we're grateful. We thank you for this night, God. We thank you for the people that are being honored. We thank you, God, for these young people today, Lord. Lord, we pray that you will continue to be with each of us, Lord, and continue to bless Richland One School. Not only this district, but all districts everywhere, God. Bless our young people in a mighty way, God. Continue to use them for your glory. Then, God, bless our parents. God, bless our teachers, bless everyone that's in the school system working for our people, God. We pray that you will continue to mold and shape all young people as you can with everything they need. Equip them with what they need for the journey. God, we pray your blessings upon everyone that is here tonight, God, and for those that could not make it, God, we pray that you would move like only you can. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this hour. We thank you for this time. We thank you for being so good to us, Lord. And now, Lord, we thank you for the food that has been prepared for the nourishments of our bodies. We thank you for the hands that took time to prepare it. And God, we bless it all now in Jesus' sweet name. Amen.
I hope everyone enjoyed their meal. We have another special performance for you this evening. Our next featured vocalist for our next musical performance is a graduate of W.J. Keenan High School. Brittany Turnipseed's rising star status was solidified when she won the top prize in the amateur night competition at the legendary Apollo Theater in Harlem, New York. Brittany performs frequently at local entertainment venues, including Chase Lounge in West Columbia. She is also open for legendary artists, including Melba Moore and the Isley Brothers. And she has accompanied live performances with the South Carolina Ballet. Singing Sweet Love by Miss Anita Baker, please welcome Miss Brittany Turnipseed.
Shame, I'm in love. stay with me. Never leave, I will be all that you need. Last time, with all my heart, I love you, babe. Stay with me and never leave. I will be all that you need. Stay with me, I will always be your sweet love. Thank you. Y'all give it up for this amazing band behind me. Thank y'all so much.
One more time for Brittany Turnipseed and this amazing band. As Dr. Witherspoon said earlier, so many amazing and talented graduates right here from Richland One. And again, they will be back to close out our program later this evening. As we prepare for the induction ceremony, I'll ask the induction class members and family members who will be making acceptance remarks to please come forward at this time. The hostesses near the stage here will direct you. As they come forward, I'll note that tonight's program is being recorded for broadcast on Richland One TV on Spectrum Cable Channel 1303. It will also be posted on R1 TV on demand on the district's website for viewing. The pictures taken before and during tonight's program will also be posted on our website. And now we'd like to take a look at the video profile of our first honoree.
Robert T. Bockman was born in Atlanta, Georgia, the second of 7 children. He benefited from the influences of his parents and grandparents who emphasized the value of a formal education in the pursuit of knowledge. After earning bachelor's and master's degrees from Vanderbilt University and the University of Georgia respectively, Mr. Bockman served on active duty in the United States Army as a military intelligence officer. After his discharge, he enrolled in the University of Georgia School of Law and graduated 3 years later with the Juris Doctorate degree. Mr. Bockman moved to Columbia in 1975. He was employed by the South Carolina Attorney General and assigned as staff counsel to the South Carolina Public Service Commission. He became general counsel in 1977 and served in that position for over 4 years. After leaving the commission, he practiced law with McNair Law Firm until 2011, when he became a full-time member of the University of South Carolina School of Law faculty. Since 2022, he has taught 1 course at the law school, and he volunteers as an advisor to law students on the issues of integrity and character. Mr. Bockman's many honors and awards include the Order of the Palmetto, the state's highest civilian award, in recognition of his teaching and services as a mentor to law students and lawyers. A strong proponent of public education and the father of 3 Richland One graduates, Mr. Bockman has served on several district-wide task forces and committees since the early 1990s, including the Year-Round Education Task Force and the C-Average Task Force. He was also a member of the committee that was appointed by the Richland One Board of School Commissioners in 2004 to establish the criteria and selection process for the Hall of Fame, receive and evaluate the first nomination submitted, and present a recommendation to the board. Mr. Bockman served as chairman of the selection committee until he was named to the newly created Hall of Fame Advisory Board in 2017. He continues to serve as an advisory board member. Through his participation in the selection process since the Hall of Fame was established 20 years ago, Mr. Bockman has been an eloquent spokesman and leading advocate for the Richland One Hall of Fame, particularly for its intrinsic value in inspiring students attending Richland One schools today and generations to come.
Ladies and and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Richland One Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Robert T. Bockman.
Thank you so much for that welcome. You know, it's customary when one attends and speaks at an event like this to recognize people, specific people in the audience. Dr. Witherspoon has already done that for me, so what I propose to do is just welcome you all as friends of Richland One, because everyone here in this room is a friend of Richland School District 1. I know what this honor means. For 20 years, I have reviewed the nominations of some of the finest people that have come from this area and have had connections with Richland District 1. You know, those people achieved so much and made such contributions to our society in so many different ways. You know, and they were all different. But there was one thing that they all shared in common. And it was this, that when they appeared at this event, either the member of the Hall of Fame or representative of them, they acknowledged the fact that they didn't get here alone. It was not by themselves. There were people who encouraged them, who served them, who helped them along the way. And that's consistent with certainly my fellow inductees tonight, and it means that this event, this gala, is a ceremony of recognition, a ceremony of thanks. And I feel no different. There are so many people in my life who have been influences on me. I couldn't name them individually, but I can refer to them collectively. I was fortunate enough to be born into a family which valued education, knowledge, service, dignity, and respect. And the teachers that I had from elementary school through law school reinforced those values for me, and I thank all of them. I do that collectively. I want to specifically, though, thank the members of this school board because of the way that my nomination came about. It was special, and it means a lot to me that they would feel that way about me. I also want to recognize that I've been serving Richland District 1 for 30 years, and there have been school board members during that period of time, superintendents and staff people on the Richland 1 who have aided me and have given me the opportunity to serve, and that's what I'm so grateful for. There's one other group of people that I want to honor and respect and pay my respects to tonight. You see, my educational experiences were, I guess they were deficient in a major way. I grew up in a different state. I didn't have the opportunity to be a student in Richland One District schools, you know, and so I had to overcome that discrepancy in my preparation. And I did so through the help of my family, because they're the ones who encouraged me, and particularly my wife, Elizabeth Kevin Bockman, who has been my supporter, my partner, my confidant, and my inspiration for 41 and a half years. You know, she was a teacher herself in Richland One schools, and she was the type of teacher that the students adored, and they did adore her. Not nearly the way I do, but they did for her. You know. And Molly and Rob, you along with your big sister Kate, when you allowed me to escort you into your classrooms on almost every day that you were in elementary school, to show me what was going on in those classrooms, the learning, the teaching, the inspiring, the supporting, the consoling that those teachers did. You know, and I learned that was my connection with Richland, the beginning of my connection with Richland One. You know, and now Molly and Stephen, with your children, Ridley and Ben, Maggie and Caroline, who are in Richland One schools this very day, you carrying on that support and that tradition and my connection. And Rob, you and Caitlin, when Birdie is a little older, she's 14 and a half months now, when her day comes, she will be in Richland One schools too. But I close with this. What else could I say when there was an opportunity for me to serve Richland One? When there's an opportunity for me to do something, when there's an opportunity to respond to Karen York's call to say, the board wants you to do something. What else was I to say but yes? And that's what I did. Thank you very much.
A native of Savannah, Georgia, Dr. Percy A. Mack, Jr. was in the first group of students to integrate Savannah High School. He furthered his education by earning a Bachelor of Science degree from Savannah State College, a Master of Education degree from the University of Georgia, and a PhD from Georgia State University. Dr. Mack's pre-K through 12 public education career spans over 40 years. He served as Richland One Superintendent for 6 years, from 2008 to 2014. He came to the district after serving as superintendent in Dayton, Ohio, where he was named Superintendent of the Year by the National Alliance of Black School Educators. In Richland One, Dr. Mack successfully led efforts to increase student achievement and growth. All 6 schools that were on the state's priority list were removed. 31 schools received Palmetto Gold and Palmetto Silver awards. 2 elementary schools, South Kilbourne and Gadsden, were named National Blue Ribbon Schools. High school seniors collectively earned more than $277 million in scholarships during his tenure. Dr. Mack also guided Richland One through the extensive review process, which resulted in the district's first district-wide accreditation. Many innovative programs and initiatives were launched in the district under his leadership and continue today, including the C.A. Johnson High School Health Sciences Magnet, the Navistar Diesel Technology Program at Hayward Career and Technology Center, the Padea Model School at Meadowfield Elementary School, and the annual Richland One Principal for a Day Community Engagement Initiative, which provides community leaders with an up-close look at the great things happening in Richland One schools, as well as a better understanding of the challenges they face. Dr. Mack's honors and awards include being named the South Carolina School Improvement Council Advocate of the Year. His community service includes having served as a member and board chairman of the United Way of the Midlands Board and as a chairman of the March of Dimes fundraising efforts. Dr. Mack's support for the district and Richland One students continues. Every year, he awards a $1,000 scholarship to a Richland One high school senior. The Dr. Percy A. Mack Leadership Scholarship recognizes students who demonstrate leadership skills and potential, as well as well-rounded involvement in co-curricular activities.
Join me in congratulating Richland One Hall of Fame inductee, Dr. Percy A. Mack, Jr.
Thank you very much. This is a tremendous honor for me, and I would like to thank the selection committee for presenting my nomination to the board, and I thank the board for accepting their recommendation to provide me with this honor and to be selected with such outstanding and deserving individuals in this class of 2024. To my board that hired me here in Richland One, Wendy Brawley, Vince Ford, Rob Tyson, Jasper Salmon, Dwayne Smiling, Jeanette McBride, and King B.L. Jeffcoat, I say thank you. To Dr. Tracy Young Cooper for nominating me for this honor. Thank you, Dr. Cooper. To Avin Presley and Keith Melvin for your great letters of support. This honor would not be possible tonight without the work of many individuals, and I'll just name a few. To my family members, to my wife, Carolyn, thank you so much. Because on our first date, because I was a high school principal and something came up, I was late. But she waited, and I'm very thankful that she did. And it was not a short wait. To my daughters, Jaquise and her husband, Leon, Alethea, Carla, and Megan, thank you for allowing me to do this job so that I didn't have to deal with you guys. You did great, and I'm very proud of you, very proud of the accomplishments you've made in life, and thank you very much for 8 outstanding grandchildren who take up a lot of my time, and I'm glad to do it. To family members, Ronald and Sylvia Bailey, thank you. You've always been there for us. And to Chris Hagray. Chris was in my first class when I started teaching. And he was one of my basketball players, and he was in the school's first honor society. He finished Richland High School and came to South Carolina State, and he never went back to Savannah. He has been in Columbia ever since. He's an employee of Richland School District 1, and he's the one who encouraged me to apply for this position as superintendent. To Willie McGrady and Janetta Scott, individuals who held down the fort for the superintendent, along with Deborah Brathwaite. Willie and I, over 30 years together, and Janetta Scott, who knew the district better than anyone when I arrived, was very, very much helpful to me in getting things done. To Dr. Vashti Washington, fellow superintendent, great confidant, and she always had some advisement for me. To the best administrative assistant you could ever have, Shirley Price. Ms. Price, give her a round of applause, if you will. When I came to the district, Ms. Price, I said, Ms. Price, I want to see this district. We hopped in the car, and she took me to every building in Richland One. Everybody in Richland One knew Shirley Price. And we would go in and say, hey, Shirley, how you doing? And she would say, Dr. Mack, this is this area, that area, and Ms. Price, I couldn't do it without you. Ms. Price was a very good confidant. We talked about our children quite frequently, and she helped me a lot with that too. There were local people who were very important in our work here in Richland School District 1. Just to name a few, the late Judge Mildred McDuffie, Attorney I.S. Levy Johnson, Mr. James Bennett, and Miss Alexina Fergus. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being there for the superintendent. And to all of the employees of this wonderful school district. I can remember in my first convocation, I said, we're going for the goal. And everybody had their flashlights on, and they were ready to go. And at the end, we sang, ain't no stopping us now. And we kept that. So to all of our district teachers, administrators, clericals, custodians, bus drivers, lunchroom workers, and yes, Nurse Stanley, to all the school nurses for all the work that you did. And 4 people, and I'll take my seat, if you will bear with me a minute. First, my Sunday school teacher, Mrs. Frances McLaurin, who, when I was in her class, in the primary boys class, she understood that boys needed more encouragement than girls. Those of us in education, we realize that now. She was not college educated. She was just an individual who taught Sunday school. And she said, if you work hard and do the things and follow the golden rule, you can be successful in this life. And Ms. McLaurin would have accompanied me tonight, but she passed away a couple of years ago at the age of 105 years of age. But she was a stalwart, and I greatly appreciate her. And finally, to the three individuals who really deserve this honor more than me. My father, Percy Sr., my mother, Estella, and my aunt, Elizabeth Walker. They were my role models. They grew up in rural communities where the school only went to the 6th grade for African Americans. But they worked hard every day, 7 days a week. They worked hard to make ends meet. They never wrote a check. Every bill was paid with cash, and every bill was paid on time. They stood in long lines to vote because voting was so important. They really, I couldn't thank them enough because with the little money they had left, Bishop, they gave me those $68 a quarter to go to Savannah State. $68 now when we can get your book. But I started out at 68 and I ended up at 97. But I just thank them because they taught me some things. Work hard, treat people fair, and believe in God. And with that, the last thing, they say in this life, you give a service for the space that you occupy. In this life, you give a service for the space you occupy. And I just want to say thank you, Richland One, for allowing me to give much, much, much of that service right here. Thank you very much.
Bernice G. Scott was born in Eastover, South Carolina, the 7th of 11 children. She graduated from Weber High School in 1962. After graduation, she moved to New York, where she worked for several years before returning home. In 1976, she entered Midlands Technical College, and in 1979, she began studying at the University of South Carolina. Also in 1979, Ms. Scott began her lengthy career with Richland County government. She worked as a tax collector, an assistant clerk of council, the ombudsman, and a courtroom assistant before being elected to Richland County Council in 1988. Also in 1988, Ms. Scott founded the infamous Reckoning Crew, a grassroots advocacy group established to inform and educate local communities about current events, how government works, and the importance of voting and elections. Ms. Scott was elected to represent District 10, Richland County's largest geographical district. In 1991, she became the first African-American chairperson of Richland County Council. Elected 5 times, she served for 20 years on County Council. She advocated for all schools within Richland County and helped to enhance the quality of education and establish, protect, and grow the educational opportunities that Richland County children have received, particularly during her tenure. In 1997, Ms. Scott joined Austin and Rogers, PA, as the Director of Community Relations and Public Affairs. In 1999, she was chosen to serve as Governor Hodges' Director of Community Relations. She served in that capacity for 4 years before returning to Austin and Rogers full-time, where she worked until 2019 when the firm closed. Ms. Scott has dedicated her life and her career to public service and helping people. She has worked tirelessly on critical issues in the rural areas of Richland County, including healthcare, sewer service, fire protection, and economic development. After the historic flood of 2015, Ms. Scott began working with Pastor Sammy Wade and Monica Lamb of Tri-City Visionaries to improve the quality of life for rural citizens by restoring their homes and making their residences safe and not just habitable, but comfortable. In 2023, President Joe Biden appointed Ms. Scott to serve on the Presidential Advisory Commission on Advancing Educational Equity, Excellence, and Economic Opportunity for Black Americans. The commission provides advice to the President through the Secretary of Education on matters pertaining to educational equity and economic opportunity for the Black community.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Richland One Hall of Fame inductee, Miss Bernice G. Scott.
Thank you. Before I start saying what I did, I want y'all to know God allowed me to do those things for people. And I thank Him with all my heart. I never would have thought 11 kids my mother and father had. My father died at 47. My mother was 75 when she passed. But she always told us, if we stick together, we're going to make it. And I thank God for my children, Valerie and Kent. I don't know what my life would be without them. And I thank God for them. But I thank God for them giving me 5 grandkids. And then I thank my grandkids now, 2 of them, who give me 5 great-grands. So I am truly blessed. And I thank God for that. And I cannot do anything without Him. But Pastor Wade, my pastor, if he's still here, we got to be to church 8:30 in the morning. Pastor Wade's still here? Raise your hand, Pastor Wade. His wife worked for Internal Revenue Service, and they're cleaning up everybody. I hope y'all got your tax right, too. He started the Tri-City Visionary. What we do is Pastor Jackson and Jermaine Johnson, Representative Jermaine Johnson, every year we go up there and beg them for some money. And what we do is turn over, that's why they call us the Lower Richland. All the water come towards us. And when you live in a rural, predominantly Black community, a lot of people think you don't need anything, you don't want anything, but you better pay them taxes. Because I was a tax collector for 5 years for the county, and I knew I had to put signs up on people's houses to sell if they didn't pay the taxes. So my determination was to make sure that the people get the service they deserve. And if we don't talk about it and fight about it, like Cheryl Harris does on school board, we won't get anything. And the board members work with her. It's sad, but it's right, because we have to make this world a little better for the next generation. And I thank God for my son-in-law, Kevin. He know I love him, but sometimes I have to slap him every now and then, keeping me in shape. But I love my son-in-law, Kevin. He know I love him. And Shaniqua, she got my youngest. No, Lisa just top it off. Lisa got a month-old baby, a little bubbly boy. But I thank God for my family. I really do. They know, they call me Mima. And they know when they do something wrong, they have to deal with Mima. They don't want to do that. So they've been doing pretty good lately. And I thank God for that. But you know, we got to put back into in our world what we took out of. I'll be 80 years old November the 17th. Look out for the party. And I'm determined that as long as I live, and as long as I survive, I'm gonna always help somebody. God don't care what kind of money you got in the bank. He don't care anything about your house, all your cars. Nothing wrong with having those things now, let's get it clear. But he could ask you when the time comes, what did you do with the talent I give you to help someone else? And if we can't answer that, now when I get to heaven and look around, I don't see you. I'm not going anywhere else looking for you. I want y'all to know that right now. And I want to thank the wrecking crew for 34 years. We have been together working in the community. Wrecking Crew, raise your hand. That's the Wrecking Crew. They really talk about me bad, but they do what I ask them to do. I know they talk about me bad, but it's okay as long as you do God's will and helping people. We got to do more with helping people. Now, we can sit up and talk about all these nice things, and the superintendent, he know I love him, and I tell you, we got your back. We got your back. You keep on doing what you're supposed to be doing for the schools, and we got your back. When I got on county council in 80, whatever, y'all know I'm old, they were treating the districts wrong, different. But I got my colleagues in the back, and I said, if you don't do District 1, I'm gonna tell you all about District 2 in the open. They knew I would have done it. So they came out when the budget came up, and they raised their hand for District 2. When District 1 came up, I raised my hand. I looked down the aisle, you could see the hands. And it's sad I have to do that, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get it done. And that's why I am so blessed, and I thank God every day. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is say, good morning, Jesus, thank you. Without him, we are nothing. All the stuff is vanity. We are nothing. And coming up with 7 brothers, you had to get it, or you got getting. They taught me a lot. It's nothing but 2 of us left. My sister is sick. She has dementia. She's 7 years younger than I am. But with God's will, we still gonna make it because we are sticking together. And that's what it could take. So thank y'all for this honor. And Miss Karen York, where she is? Mr. Superintendent, give her a raise. She harassed us by them pictures and stuff all day. Give her a raise. She need a raise. But all the staff was very, 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 very good. And I want to thank y'all for nominating me. And if you need me, call me. And Dr. Cooper told me he's going to give me a free examination and he can fix my mouth for me. So, y'all, thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Keep it up.
Senator John L. Scott Jr. was a native of Columbia and a 1971 graduate of C.A. Johnson High School. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree from South Carolina State University and a Doctorate of Humane Letters from Clinton College, and he was a graduate of the Richard E. Riley Institute at Furman University. He also received an honorary doctorate of public service from South Carolina State. Senator Scott gave 32 years of distinguished service to the state of South Carolina. Prior to being elected to the South Carolina General Assembly, he served on Richland County Council as vice chairman for 2 years. In 1990, he was elected to the House of Representatives and served for 18 years before being elected as a state senator. As a senator, he was a member of the Senate Finance Committee, the Labor, Commerce, and Industry Committee, the Rules Committee, and the Medical Affairs Committee. While serving in the House of Representatives, he championed legislation for the new voting system, the state-run lottery, and the early voting process. He participated in the district's reapportionment process during his tenure in the House and the Senate. After joining the Senate, he successfully worked to pass a bill to repair and rebuild the state's crumbling roads and bridges to make them safer for all South Carolinians. Being a strong proponent for education, Senator Scott led the fight in securing funding for deteriorating buildings for K-12 education, and he worked to secure millions of dollars in funding for South Carolina's historically black colleges and universities. Senator Scott served on several boards, and he received numerous honors, awards, and recognitions. In 2002, he was awarded the Order of the Palmetto, South Carolina's highest civilian honor. In 2022, he was recognized by HBCU Times Magazine for revolutionizing South Carolina's historically black colleges and universities through the South Carolina Institutes of Innovation and Information. Also in 2022, he was enshrined on the C.A. Johnson High School Wall of Fame. He proudly retired as Major General from the South Carolina Military Department Joint Detachment in 2019. Senator Scott was founder, owner, and broker in charge of J.L. Scott Realty Company, and he co-owned a consulting firm with his wife, Joan. A car enthusiast, he shared a passion with lovers of vintage and classic cars. He was a member of the Carolina Car Club and the Midlands Cruisers. Senator Scott loved his neighbors and believed in living peaceably with everyone. He passed away on August 13, 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please get on your feet, Richland One posthumously inducts Senator John L. Scott Jr. into the Richland One Hall of Fame. Accepting on behalf of his family tonight, his wife, Mrs. Joan Scott.
Good evening. Someone said, to win the respect of people, to leave the world a bit better, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. That is the essence of John L. Scott Jr. It is an honor for me, along with his family, to accept this beautiful recognition as he is inducted into Richland One School District Hall of Fame, class of 2024. Our hearts are filled with appreciation and gratitude. What would the senator say at such a time as this? He would simply say, thank you, thank you, thank you to Principal Dr. Coe for nominating him, the Richland School District 1 Hall of Fame Committee, the Richland School District 1 Board of Commissioners, Aaron Bishop Chair, Superintendent Craig Witherspoon, his dear friends, Representatives Leon Howard and Chris Hart, and our new Senator, Tamika Isaac Devine, who has been gracious and kind and nothing short of a gem. He would thank everyone in Richland One who played a pivotal role in laying his foundation, his teachers, his principals, his mentors, who all poured into him. And he gave back by pouring into others his love for community service, helping and encouraging our children to succeed and be the best they can be. Thank you for remembering one man, his humility, his hard work, and his devoted heart, which he committed throughout his life to hopefully make a difference in the life of so many. He left his heartprint on all of us, and his spirit will live forever in our hearts. To God be the glory.
A Columbia native, Martha Scott Smith grew up in the Greenview community. A sense of responsibility and a true love of service were instilled in her at an early age as she witnessed many examples of unselfish giving and sacrifice by her parents. After graduating from C.A. Johnson High School in 1967, she attended South Carolina State University and graduated from the University of South Carolina. Her love of teaching and learning led to her first career as a middle school teacher at Olympia Middle School in Richland One. While teaching in the district, she helped to establish the Gifted and Talented program. Mrs. Smith was recruited by Southern Bell in 1977, and she embraced the opportunity to bridge her passion for community and education into the business world. For the next 37 years, she worked continually to encourage opportunities for success for individuals and families and support projects that strengthened education and the community. One of her legacies is helping to create and direct AT&T's first African American History Calendar project, which was the first of its kind in the country. As a volunteer and board member of the Columbia Urban League, she developed the operational manual for the League's summer work program, which has provided work experience for over 10,000 youth. Mrs. Smith has been a trailblazer in the boardrooms of many organizations. She was the first African American female to chair the boards of the American Red Cross Central Carolinas, the South Carolina State Museum Foundation, the Columbia Northeast Chamber of Commerce, the Midlands Convention Authority, the South Carolina Alliance for Children, and the Better Business Bureau. True to her commitment to education on all levels, she has served on the Board of Visitors of Allen University, Claflin University, and Columbia College, and the Board of Trustees at South Carolina State University. She currently serves on the University of South Carolina Minority Advisory Board, and she is employed as the Executive Director of Human Resources at Benedict College. She also chairs the board of MUSC Health Columbia, and she is an active member of the Columbia chapter of the Lynx and the Francis Burns United Methodist Church Foundation. And she remains active in the Columbia Urban League. Mrs. Smith's numerous honors and awards include being inducted into the South Carolina Black Hall of Fame in recognition of her diverse and extensive community and civic work. She was also the first African American woman to receive the Humanitarian of the Year award from the United Way of the Midlands.
Please join me in congratulating Richland One Hall of Fame inductee, Mrs. Martha Scott Smith.
She who kneels before God can stand before anyone. Tonight I stand before you in gratefulness and thankfulness, and certainly in humility. I am clear that though Martha Scott Smith's name is on this award tonight, it is about each of you. I am but a sum total of the kneeling woman because of the richness, the opportunities, the love, and yes, the kindness that you have poured into me, and you continue to do so. I have been bountifully blessed with an incredible life, and I do not take that for granted. I am a recipient of seeds that were sown for me by many of whom I shall never know. I often wonder about the audacity of God that He would do this for me. I collectively thank tonight Richland District 1, the commissioners, and especially the selection committee. And I too want to thank Karen York and Gwen Etheridge, because I know it was a task to corral me to get some of this information, so I certainly want to thank them. I am grateful and I am thankful tonight for parents who themselves were denied the educational opportunities to become all that they could be, yet not in bitterness and not in defeat. They committed their lives to intentionally sacrifice so that my brother and I were assured a better chance at life because we could read and we could write. Grateful as a youth and led by their example, I believe my life's journey was predetermined to be one of teaching, of learning, and service to others. I am thankful for growing up in a family who ensured that we unquestionably knew that our faith would always be the ultimate guiding light for any measure of success. I am grateful and I am thankful tonight for a school district, and those committed teachers who embraced me and later granted me the privilege and the awesome task of teaching our children. I am grateful and I am thankful for a career with a company that opened doors for me, pushed me through, taught me the importance of developing others, lifting them up, caring and encouraging them to the next level. I am grateful for a post-career whose leadership further encourages me and supports my desires to make a difference in our communities and ultimately craft a better future for our children. I am truly grateful and thankful to those many community and civic organizations who welcomed me to their boards and unselfishly shared their wisdom, their time, their talent, their treasures, so that I could stand in solidarity with them and one day make a difference. To my biological family, my church family, my beloved Greenview family, my extended adopted family and friends, and you know who you are, I am eternally grateful for your love, your support, and understanding of often long hours and charitable work. You collectively represent the wind beneath my wings. Truly, I'm grateful tonight. But truly, I am also selfish. Because tonight, as I take my seat, I challenge you to join me in continuing to sow seeds for our children. For I do believe there's truly a harvest behind each seed that we sow. Each of you, in your own way, no matter how big, no matter how small, you must uplift and carry our children until they can and will do the same for others. We must not become weary. Always remember, and I love this, always remember that although a butterfly can never again become a caterpillar, we know that there is still hope because broken crayons can still color. As I close, I want to share this with you. I think most of you know that I grew up in the church. So as I close, in the words of a dear old gospel song that I love, I'm going to work. Martha Smith's going to work until my work is done. And I'm going to work until the setting of my sun. So I challenge you tonight to work for our children, to lay a path for the next generations to come, and to work to the setting of your sun. I love you. I thank you. I am most appreciative of this award, and I want you to carry on all the good work that Richland District 1 has done in the past and continues to embrace us. Good night and safe travels.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our 5 new members of the Richland One Hall of Fame another round of applause. And if this is your first visit to the Convention Center tonight, before you leave, be sure to stop by the Richland One Hall of Fame room, where framed portraits of all of the Hall of Fame laureates, including tonight's honorees, will be displayed. Also, be sure to take a look at the glass cases outside of the Hall of Fame room, which contains several artifacts and memorabilia from throughout the district's history, including items from the Hall of Fame members. As all of this year's inductees come to the front of the stage to take a picture, I would like to invite Dr. Aaron Bishop, chairman of the Richland One Board of School Commissioners. He will come up to bring you closing remarks, and following those remarks, we will have one final performance for you tonight.
Let's give them a round of applause. Whenever I'm provided a platform to speak as a commissioner, I always use these words, which is a story that was introduced to me by way of Vince Ford and Dr. Ronald Epps. And the question always starts, how are the children? And the response is, all the children are well. Tonight we celebrate the village, for it takes a village to raise a child. But the question always prompts us to believe this: who is raising the village? Tonight we raise the village. Tonight we lift as we climb, because we're lifting up those who are part of our village. We honor those tonight who have shown us that our village matters. For we are Richland One, because teamwork makes the dream work. We're Team One, one team. And tonight, as we reflect over who was honored, no person was ever honored for what they received. Honor is the reward for what you gave. We have 101 reasons tonight of why people find it important to give. And so on behalf of the Richland One Board of Commissioners who stand here with me, past chairman Cheryl Harris, vice chairman Angela Clyburn, parliamentarian, and our senior statesman, Mr. Jamie Devine, and in absence, those board members who are not here, Ms. Barbara Weston, Robert Lomanak, and Tamika Myers, we tell you thank you. Thank you for coming out tonight to help us take a moment to pause and say thank you to those who make Richland One proud. For we can look at who Richland One is. Richland One is the district that has a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Richland One is the district that had a man who was the head of NASA. And tonight we gave you many other reasons why Richland One is Richland One strong. So as we reflect tonight, let's also look forward to celebrating what will always be a reason why we value Richland One. And so to help us to even gather what we're looking forward to, I invite everyone out tomorrow to Main Street, where Richland One student by way of Keenan High School will be having her own parade featuring the University of South Carolina Gamecocks. None other than a Keenan graduate named Malaysia Fulwiley.
Tonight, again, this is a celebration, and we invite you to continue the celebration tonight. But we can't go any further by celebrating those who made tonight possible. We thank the Hall of Fame Nomination and Selection Committee and the Hall of Fame Advisory Committee. Will you please stand and be recognized tonight for the work you've done to make us be here tonight. To all of the sponsors and partners of the Hall of Fame tonight, would those members please be recognized by standing so we can give you all a round of applause and tell you thank you. If you sponsored tonight and you made this to be possible, please stand as you can be recognized. So with that being said, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, we thank you for coming out tonight. We thank you for celebrating with us. If we didn't recognize you, blame it to our eyes, as Dr. Witherspoon said, but don't blame our hearts and minds. On behalf of Richland One, we tell you thank you and good evening.
Thank you to Dr. Bishop and our board members. You all have been a fabulous audience this evening. And before we close, back to perform a special musical finale and tribute to all 101 members of the Richland One Hall of Fame, our featured vocalists, Brittany Turnipseed, Twyla Jones, and Dr. Carol Minor, joined by featured saxophonist Dr. Craig Witherspoon, and accompanied by saxophonist Dante Lewis Band. Give it up for them.
Each day I live, I want to be a day to give the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. My finest day is yet unknown. I broke my heart for every gain to taste the sweet. Oh, I face the pain. I rise and fall, but through it all, this much remains.
I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away and the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. Then in that one moment of time, I will feel eternity. Live to be the very best. I want it all. No time for less. I've laid the plans. Now lay the chance here in my hands. Give me one moment in time where I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away and the answers are all up to me.
Richland One. Where else do you find a superintendent that gets up on the stage and plays that sax like no other, okay? Thank you guys so much. Again, congratulations, Richland One, on 20 years. You have guys been a great audience tonight. Enjoy your evening.